Welcome back once again, friends. This is part 4 of episode number 3, phase 3. In this particular part, I would be covering day 14 of our journey. We start part 4 by talking a little about our hotel at Medaram, where we stayed at the end of day 14. The Medaram Harita Hotel is a very big and spacious hotel which is situated right at the heart of Medaram. The rooms are very spacious. The hotel is situated across a wide very wide campus, and staying in the hotel is an experience in itself. If you are even thinking of staying at Medaram, do not hesitate to stay at this hotel, because this hotel is one of the most comfortable and affordable hotels which you can find. Otherwise, there is hardly any hotel which is present in Medaram area. We stayed there for a night, and my daughter and we had a lovely time because the rooms here are really good. Online facilities of booking are available, and the rooms are not very costly too. Day 14, and we first visited the Medaram Jatara. Medaram is a remote place in the Nagaram Wildlife Sanctuary, a part of Dandakaranya, the largest surviving forest belt in the Mulugu, and is famous for the Samakka Sarakka Jatara religious festival, which takes place once in every 2 years. Held by the forest-dwelling Koya tribe of Telangana and surrounding states, the festival is the biggest tribal festival in Asia, which is attended by almost 2 crore people on an average to honor the goddess Samakka and her daughter Sarakka. Several communities in Telangana society support Jatara, as it is also a story of 2 tribal women leaders who fought against the Kakatiya rulers who tried to annex their land and forests. According to the story, it was Samakka's curse which caused gradual decline and death of Kakatiya rule. Samakka and her daughter Saramma protesting their tribal lands and forest. Although the population of Medaram is hardly 300, but for the festivals, almost 2 crore of people assimilate biennially. The festival is conducted in the Medaram Samakka Saralamma Devasthanam and Jampanna Vagu, which is the ghat on the banks of the tributary of Godavari named Jampanna. Talking about the temple and Jatara, the Samakka Saralamma temple is a tribal temple of Medaram, where the festival of Medaram Jatara takes place. The main deity of the temple is being the 2 brave women who became martyrs after the battle for their community's rights against the Kakatiya rulers. When we went to Medaram, we had no idea about the temple. On entering the temple, one views 3 to 4 guarded trees representing Samakka and her sons and daughters being worshipped, a typical trait of how tribal worship used to take place during the Vedic period. It was a unique experience and was worth visiting. Samakka Saralamma Jatara or Medaram Jatara is a tribal festival of honoring the goddesses celebrated in the state of Telangana, India. The Jatra begins at Medaram in Tadwai Mandal in Mulugu district. It commemorates the fight of a mother and daughters, Samakka and Saralamma, with the reigning rulers against the unjust law. It is believed after Kumbh Mela, the Medaram Jatara attracts the largest number of devotees in the country. It is celebrated in Medaram during the time the goddesses of the tribals is believed to visit them. Talking about the legends, according to a tribal story, about 6 to 7 centuries ago, that is in the 13th century, some tribal leaders who went for a hunting found a newborn girl, Samakka, emitting enormous light playing amidst tigers. She was taken to their habitation. The head of the tribe adopted her and brought up as a chieftain. She later became the savior of the tribals of the region. She was married to Pagidita Raju, a feudatory tribal chief of Kakatiyas, who ruled the country of Andhra from Warangal city between 1000 AD and 1380 AD. She was blessed with two daughters and one son, namely Sarakka, Nagulamma, and Jampanna, respectively. Jampanna Vagu is a tributary to river Godavari. According to the history, Jampanna is a tribal warrior and the son of tribal goddess Samakka. The Jampanna Vagu took his name and he died in a battle fighting against Kakatiyan army in that stream. The Jampanna Vagu is still red in color marked with blood of Jampanna. Scientifically, the red color of the water is attributed to the soil composition. Tribals believe that taking a holy dip in the red water of Jampanna Vagu reminds them the sacrifice of their gods who saved them and also induces courage into their souls. There is a bridge constructed on top of Jampanna Vagu known as Jampanna Vagu Bridge. we went to Ghanpur to visit the Kotagullu group of temples. Ghanpur temples, popularly known as Kotagullu, are a group of around 22 12th century stone temples constructed between 1199 and 1260 CE. They are located in Ghanpur near Warangal in Telangana's Bhupalpalli Jaishankar district, and were constructed by King Ganapati Deva of Kakatiya dynasty. They are 9 kilometers northwest of Ramappa temple. The internal architecture of the temples resemble very much with the Ramappa temple and is a typical masterpiece. It can be assumed if they had been intact, they would have been even better than Ramappa temple in terms of beauty and craftsmanship. The place lies in Jaishankar Bhupalpalli district of Telangana. An inscription on a slab at the temple refers to Ganapati Reddy, who installed Lord Ganapateshwara and donated land during the reign of Ganapati Deva in the cyclic year of Jayanama Samavatsara Vaishakha Sudha Trayodasi Brihaspati Vasaram, corresponding to 1234 to 35 CE. The compound has two main temples, both dedicated to Lord Shiva, and there are numerous small shrines around the main central temple. Sabha Mandapa porches and Madanikas are major attractions of the temple. The temple has surely been an architectural masterpiece, but over the time, the destruction by invaders led to further dilapidation of the structures. Ghanpur has a hill fort and was built by joining two mountains by Gona Ganapa Reddy and Rechaldra Padma Nayakulu Singama Nayakudu I in 13th century. This fort had witnessed many wars between Brahmanis, Vijayanagara kings, Bijapur kings and Qutub Shahi kings. suggest to anyone who is covering this route, apart from these places, there are three other places which one should always cover on way to Warangal. These are Pandavalu, Guhalu, Ramappa Lake and Temple, which is a must visit, and Mylaram Caves. We had plans to visit Ramappa Temple again for a second time after it got the UNESCO Heritage Site status, but couldn't because of a President's visit to the temple. Ramappa Temple or Rameshwara Temple, dedicated to Shiva, situated at Palampet village of Mulugu district, was constructed in the year 1213 CE by Rechalra Rudra, a general of Kakatiya King Ganapati Deva. Recently recognized as a UNESCO Heritage Site, the temple is an architectural masterpiece of the Kakatiyas. The temple is named after its architect Ramappa. The temple has been referred to as the brightest star in the galaxy of temples by Marco Polo when he visited the Kakatiya Empire. Talking about the architecture, the temple is raised on a star-shaped platform which is in resemblance to Hoysala architecture, but the overall temple structure resembles more of a Nagara style instead of a Dravidian, with a tall vimana above the Garbhagriha and a mandapa in front. The mandapa has numerous pillars which are carved to perfection and are positioned in a way to create an effect of combining height and space wonderfully. Although the main structure is made of reddish sandstone, the columns outside have large brackets built using black basalt. These columns represent the typical Kakatiya art in the form of yalis, madanikas, demigods, musicians, and other iconographies. Dr. Ghulam Yazdani, the world-famous Indian archaeologist and conservationist who established Hyderabad Archaeological Department under the Nizam government, had traced the decorations and ornaments of the temple which were missing and restored them in the original positions in the year 1931. The temple's chamber is crowned with a shikharam and is surrounded by Pradakshina Patha. At the entrance of the temple, we can find a Nandi Mandapam. An imposing Nandi Vigraham stands on it, made out of a clay mixed with acacia wood, shaft, and mirobalan fruit, a family of amla. The bricks used in building the main vimana of the temple are light enough to float on water. Using this technique has made the temple light, meaning in case of a natural event like an earthquake, the probability of it collapsing would be very low. This is very apparent by seeing the stones inside the temple, which are up and down due to earthquake impacts, but the temple still standing tall. The temple construction was done using sandbox technique. This is a technique where the foundation pit is filled with a mixture of sand lime, jaggery, and black mirobalan fruit. This mix acts as a cushion in case of earthquakes. The temple's many carved pillars are positioned in such a way that when the sunlight hits these pillars, one of the pillars has a Lord Krishna carved into it. When gently hit, the pillar produces musical notes. There are two small Shiva shrines on either side of the main temple. The dance poses written in Nitya Ratnavali by Jayappa Senani appear in various sculptures of this temple. The temple remained intact even after repeated wars, plunder, and destruction during wars and natural disasters. There was a major earthquake during 17th century which caused some damage. It survived the earthquake due to its sandbox technique of laying foundation. Many of the smaller structures were neglected and are in ruins. The main entrance gate in the outer wall of the temple is ruined. We reached Pandavalu Guhalu site too and even parked the car in front, but it was afternoon and my daughter fell asleep in the car. I had to go alone for almost 2 hours, so I dropped the idea. There is proper parking available, cameras are chargeable, drones are not allowed, but I would still suggest one must visit the caves. They are an ancient geological site and cave located near Kotagullu village in Regonda Mandal of Jaishankar Bhupalpalli district in the Indian state of Telangana. Mylaram Caves, Nalaguttalu, situated in Mylaram village, Ghanpur Mandal, Jaishankar Bhupalpalli, Telangana, is another cave discovered recently and is located 200 km from Hyderabad. is an ideal spot for trekking and adventure. In an important discovery, archaeologists have stumbled upon a trove of ancient stalagmites and stalactites formations at Mylaram Caves, 50 km from Warangal. Located in the north-south direction, the Mylaram Guttalu are a new addition to the rich legacy of Telangana. These caves, numbering at least 10, are similar to Belam and Bora caves. They indeed have the potential to be developed as a mini tourist circuit, as there are many caves, rock art sites, temples, and lakes within a radius of 10 km. It involves trek, so we didn't visit with our daughter and went back. But our suggestion: do visit these caves. With this, I come to the end of part 4 of episode number 3. I would request you to continue watching the episode with the last part 5, coming up after this. And thanks a lot once again for watching my videos.